Okay, so this is a small review on the UCO Candle Lantern. Received it yesterday, paid for, may I add. And this is, supposedly a good little device. As you can see on the back there, I have had it on, and I'm not sure what to make of it. So to start with, we'll go over the components anyway. So I'm going to have to put this phone like that. Okay, so you have the lantern, candle holder, spacer for the bottom, so it would sit like that. Come with two candles, both white candles. I purchased 3 of these. These are citronella candles. Then it comes with this, which is your spring and your end cap. So pretty simple really in operation. You've got viewing windows as well. So I'll pop this together. Right, here we are. And then pop this in here. This just slides in and then clicks into place. So there is your candle unit. And then compact it down. That's the size it is. Fits in the hand. Comes with that. And also, ideal for a ridge line maybe, comes with that. Now, my overall thoughts on this aren't great. And they're really not great. Ooh, let's put this down quickly. Open this up. So one of the things I noticed, we zoom in. So one of the things I noticed with this was if you apply a little bit of pressure, that happens. You straighten it back up like that. But it's movable either way. Now that's not right, is it? This here is not perspex, it's glass. You can bring that down. And then you can go on to light the candle. He says, there we are. Pretty simple after that. All you do, again, I'm doing this one-handed, leaving the weight of this do most of the work. Get it up and you wait for the click. And that is your unit, basically. Don't get me wrong, it pumps out quite a bit of heat from up here. And you don't want to touch that because that is boiling hot. And then it does pump out a fair bit of heat. I can't show you much because it's daytime. But what I can say is, in fact, let's see if I can show you quickly. It does put out a little bit of light. Now, my overall impressions of this, to be completely and 100% honest, is it's not worth it. Now, if it was a case of having that you know, having a couple of those around the house, you know, for power cuts. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I could see that. But to be honest, it could be just as good getting a couple of candle lights, tea lights, and just lighting those in places. If you were in a tent, whilst this wouldn't necessarily take the chill out of the air, it should help to reduce condensation. But I also wouldn't want something that's boiling hot, red to the touch on the top, and putting out quite a bit of heat. I wouldn't want that in something flammable, like a tent. Because fair enough, most tents nowadays won't go up straight away into flames, but they will melt. If you were camping in the summertime, then I would say your best bet is probably one of these. This is a citronella candle, and that goes in that. But to be honest, you'd get the same result using bug spray, you know, bug repellent. So I'm struggling to see the advantages to this, because whilst it outputs light, it's not usable light. Whilst it outputs heat, it's not usable heat. So, I mean, maybe this is just me being me, but I just don't see the use of this, the real world use. Now, this isn't what I thought it was. I'm going to be honest. I thought this was a different product, but it's not. And the product that I'm going to be looking to get to do next month is a hurricane lantern, which runs on paraffin, which in my eyes would give you a much better like usage compared to something like this. Now again, this is just me talking from my use point, so it's a subjective thing, really, isn't it? Because you might have a use for this, whereas I don't really have a use for this. So you might find, oh, actually, I know what this will come in handy for. Whereas for me, it's probably going to get put under the stairs, or under the kitchen sink even, along with all the other tea candles. And it may get used in a power cut, or it might get used during summertime, because where we live, we're basically surrounded by trees. I don't know if you can see that much, excuse the McDonald's and the Coke can. We're surrounded by trees and like swampy type places, so you know, bugs in the summer are a bit of an issue. So I would probably try burning a citronella candle, but I probably wouldn't burn it in that. I would just burn it on a plate, because it would be more effective. So yeah, for me, this really, well, I don't see the point in it, to be honest. It looks nice, don't get me wrong, it does look nice. But yeah. And the other feature on this as well, actually, that's supposed to happen is, as this burns down, the spring inside pushes the candle up. And you're meant to have a 9-hour burn time, which is actually really good. Not something I've been able to test though. Then through here is your viewing window, so you can still see we've got plenty of candle. Because bearing in mind the candles are like quite big. But yeah, you might be able to find a use for it. For me, however, genuinely I don't have one. So it's kind of a moot point. Like I said, this is just going to get placed under the kitchen sink, and it might be used in a power cut. I might try the candle on its own, the blue candle, like a purple candle maybe. during the summer months, just to see if it helps with the wasps and bees, not bees, wasps and flies. Because again, you know, with woodland on the back of where we live and like really swampy ground, we're subjected to quite a lot of flying things. It gets quite annoying. And citronella is meant to be quite good for keeping things away. But I could see me just having that candle on a plate and doing it that way, or a candle holder and not this. So yeah, that's my little review and my thoughts on the UCO Candle Lantern. If you're thinking of buying one and you don't have, you know, you're buying one just for the sake of buying one, then don't. It's really nothing to write home about. If, however, you've got a specific use in mind, then yeah, consider it, but also look for alternatives. So if you wanted to have something that you could use in the woods when you're camping to put out a little bit of light, and you don't want to go down, you know, a torch route, then, or if I'm being honest, use a hurricane lantern. That would be the better thing to use, because this just isn't enough. And for the price you pay as well, and the build quality on it, the build quality is quite poor. Like I say, when you're able to do that to it, it's easily broken. You shouldn't be able to do that. So yeah, but there we are. That's just my thoughts on it. Yours might be different, and that's probably a good thing, because if we all thought the same, the world would be a boring place.